What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and news report for Monday, May 17th. Today is also known as tax day. So I just want to warn you guys, make sure you get your taxes done today so that you do not risk incurring any late penalties. Now, we have some big news that came out over the weekend. I really want to address this because this does play into whether or not we're going to see any additional stimulus payments. So, we are also going to address the Biden administration, and now they're actually considering different things because they have to deal with inflation at this time. So obviously we need to talk about that. And then we are going to get into what the GOP is preparing, which we could potentially see today as far as a new offer for the infrastructure package for President Biden. But the most significant news that came out over the weekend is regarding payments coming from the IRS. The IRS states that on July 15th, that is when, that will be the first day that the child tax credit payments will be made. So, millions, about 65 million payments will be going out to children. That is going to be huge. This means that starting in July, we could see a huge influx in additional spending. That is good for the economy, but at the same time, it is only good for those that actually have the money. So, this is huge. It's going to provide roughly 65 million children with between $250 to $300 per month in payments. This is huge, but there's a lot of talks on this. But what some are saying is right now, there's no sign, there's nothing that's mandatory that says parents have to spend this money on their children. So I understand for those that are, single, individuals do not have children, or those that have children that are grown, you're looking at this like, well, that's great, but, those parents aren't going to spend the money on their children. I get it. But yet, this is still something that's going to happen, and lawmakers are looking into expanding this, not just for 2021, but all the way into 2025 as well. So, with this new money coming in, this means about $16 billion in funding is going to be distributed through the economy every single month for 2021. That's going to be big. Now, if you're not sure if you qualify for this child tax credit, it is $250 for a child between 6 and 17. It's $300 for anybody that's 5 and younger. Anybody. Now, what you need to understand is you qualify if your income is under $75,000 per year, or for this past year in 2020, as an individual. For head of household, it's $112,500, and for a couple filing jointly, it's $150,000 for 2020. Now, these payments are being touted by Democrats as a saving grace at this time. They say the average American family is in need of this payment, and the American people need additional support. But this is something that I've said multiple times before. These payments still leave out a large portion of the population. These payments do not go to individuals that do not have children. These payments do not go to people on Social Security or their children are over the age of 18. These payments don't go to them. So that creates a huge issue is, do those people need additional payments as well? And the answer is yes. Many experts, many economists say a fourth stimulus check at this time is needed in addition to the child tax credits. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What should the fourth stimulus check even amount to? Should it be $1,000? Should it be $1,200? Or should it be something close to $2,000 or higher? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, at this time, some lawmakers say that from a federal level, another stimulus check is seen as less and less likely to happen at this time. That's at a federal level. However, what we do know is they say that the most likely scenario at this point is for individual states to offer checks. And so this is what many people have been saying for the past few weeks is, call your state representatives and let them know why you need an additional stimulus check, what you spent your last one on, how quickly it went, because the lawmakers were saying it was supposed to last about 3 months. They started coming out, I think, May say May 15th, right? So we got May 15th, okay? Or March 15th. So we got April, May, June. By June 15th, those $1,400 stimulus checks should be gone according to lawmakers. But most people here in the community said they lasted less than a week. So this is what they're saying though. Lawmakers say you need to be talking to your state representatives, because the individual states are more likely to offer some type of incentive, some type of additional checks like California is currently doing right now. But what they say is that the states would offer these checks based off of the unemployment rate, the economic recovery, and obviously whether or not the state even has a budget surplus. If the state is underwater, which there's very few states that are, if they are not doing as good as they were before the pandemic, then chances are they would not offer an additional stimulus check. And I get it. A lot of you guys are going to say, well, I live in Florida. Florida is never going to offer an additional stimulus check. I saw this multiple times last week as well, here in the comment section. But one thing I just want to address is that Orange County, Florida, offered $1,000 stimulus checks not once, but twice. So it is something that some cities are doing, some counties are doing, but the states might as well. So we need to put some pressure on our lawmakers, because this is the only way we will see an additional stimulus check coming from the state levels, is if more and more citizens, the voters, tell the lawmakers, hey, you need to do this. This is a good idea. We need the money. Go ahead and get this passed. So we'll see what happens there. But we know a large group of the lawmakers do want an additional stimulus check. Okay, the problem is that Republicans, they don't support an additional stimulus check. Now, I'm not bashing Republicans, okay, because Republicans want other things that Democrats don't want that could benefit the American people. But Republicans don't want to see an additional stimulus check, not because it isn't needed at this time, because I think the majority of people would say yes, an additional stimulus check is needed. They don't want another stimulus check, because if they were to give an additional stimulus check, what we're going to see is our deficit actually goes up. Okay, we're going to see that we are going to be deficit spending again, and that's not what Republicans want to do. Centrist Democrats, they haven't even come out in favor of another stimulus check at this time either. Many Democrats do propose and do support an additional stimulus check, but most centrist Democrats haven't even come forward and say, yeah, that's a good idea. I support that. And then we got President Biden and the Biden administration. They're pretty much just going to leave it up to the lawmakers and say, hey, Congress, if you want it, you pass it. So that's really all the Biden administration is doing. So we'll see what happens there. But as we get closer to an agreement on the infrastructure package, I think we're going to get a little bit more details as to what we could potentially see here. So as we do, I promise I will fill you in on all those details. But here's the good news, okay? Because we do have some good news. Lately, the only information that we have had is from Democrats. That's it. We've had a little bit of information from Republicans, but Democrats pretty much are just pushing all this stuff forward because they have all the power. Well, Democrats proposed a certain offer, and we were waiting to see what the GOP had to say about it. Well, we learned what the GOP had to say. We learned what Mitch McConnell had to say, that the Republican Party does not support increasing corporate tax rate and increasing this up to 28%, like President Biden currently wants to do. But what we know now, okay, again, this all happened last week, but now what we know is the GOP is preparing their own offer for infrastructure. They're going to increase their $568 billion offer and present it to President Biden. This could happen sometime today. Who knows? Between the time I recorded this and the time I published it, which is about 30, 45 minutes, okay, that things could change. So make sure you, first off, go ahead and hit that like button. I really appreciate that when you do it, because it does help out the video and this channel. But also click that subscribe button down below so I can keep you updated on all the new information that we're getting. But if we do see this offer come out today, I promise I'll come back on later on today and I'll fill you in on all those updates as well, like I usually do. So this offer, we don't have any indication of how high it's going to be. We haven't seen reports on that yet. Okay, we don't know what is exactly going to be included, but according to Mitch McConnell, it will be just infrastructure. This is roads, bridges, airports, broadband, and things like that. It will not be childcare, elder care, and free community college. That is not something that will be in the GOP offer. So what we do know is the reason why Republicans, and I get this question asked quite a bit in the comment section, is why would Republicans even entertain the idea of a bipartisan package when the Democrats are just going to go and pass this with a budget reconciliation at some point? Well, here's what we know. The reason why Republicans would pass this as a bipartisan bill is because they know there's overwhelming support from voters on roads, bridges, broadband, and airports. But they also know that the centrist Democrats would likely halt the rest of the Build Back Better plan because it is too expensive. It does not have the enough support from Republicans, or another big thing is it's just not needed at this time. So what we do know is that as of right now, the likelihood of President Biden's $4.1 trillion infrastructure package even passing are very small. So we'll see what happens there. But based on recent reports, the Biden administration is considering lowering their offer, going down from $4.1 trillion. As to how low they're willing to go, honestly, we don't know that. Progressives say that the Biden administration cannot cater to the Republican demands and lower their offer. They need to increase it, if anything. That's from progressives. But again, we will see what happens. But right now, what we are hearing is that the Biden administration is considering lowering their offer, but it's just to reach a bipartisan deal. Okay, that is, well, it's not just to reach a bipartisan deal. That's part of it. That's a big part. But here's the bigger issue. The bigger issue is right now, many advisors are advising President Biden and the Biden administration to lower their offer because we are seeing additional talks of inflation. And if this $4.1 trillion infrastructure package does pass, we will see rampant inflation. It's going to happen quick. It's going to come on fast and furious, and a lot of people are going to be hurt by it. So we do know that the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, came out last week. It came out at 0.8%. That's for month over month, and 4.2% year over year. So that's actually pretty big. This has a lot of people very worried that we are still pumping money into the economy, but we're still seeing a shortage of manufacturing. And the states, as they begin to open up, inflation fears will most likely be off the charts for the next 2 to 4 months. Okay, 2 to 4 months. My prediction is we are going to see, we're going to see the rate shoot up. Okay, it's probably going to happen. We've already seen it kind of happen now, but what we're going to see is they're going to shoot up, they're going to stabilize, and they should come back down. This will most likely happen sometime September or October, maybe even into November. So just keep in mind, we're going to see a lot of these talks, a lot of this discussion over the next, what 6 months, something like that. So 5 to 6 months is my guess, but we will see what happens there. But this is what has the Biden administration very worried. But it also has lawmakers wondering how much can they really pass with the inflation fears, with not having bipartisan support, having to do another budget reconciliation, not having even the support of all Democrats. The progressives are pushing for more, and yet some Democrats say, no, we don't need more. We don't need more at this time. Let's pass what we can pass, and then we'll work out the rest later on. But Republicans say the exact same things. Let's pass what we can agree on, and we'll work on the rest later. But Democrats say, no, we have to do all that. We have to do all that because that is technically infrastructure. So we'll see. We also know lawmakers are worried not only on inflation, not only on additional stimulus and seeing the child tax credits come out. They want to see how the child tax credits are going to actually play out, how they're going to benefit the economy and the American people, if we're going to see an increase in spending, or is it just going to go into savings and paying off debt, which in my opinion, saving and paying off debt are both considered really good things, especially for a lower income individual or family. If you can pay off debt, that means you have more disposable income that you can use to go and buy things, maybe buy assets like investments, start a business, or buy some real estate, which is very expensive at this time, but you could do it. But lawmakers are also worried because they want to see an increase in wages, but they don't understand. They don't know at this time how the unemployment crisis is even going to play out. Are more states going to cancel the unemployment benefits a little bit early? The $300 per week boost, the PUA, is all this stuff going to get canceled? Long-term unemployment, is that going to be done? Most say yes. This will be done. The majority of lawmakers at this time, according to reports, are stating that they will not support extending the unemployment benefits past September 6th, but at the same time, they will not come in and modify the current bill, the current legislation that says it's going to go till September 6th. They're not going to go and cut it short a couple months, because that actually doesn't benefit the people that currently need the unemployment benefits and don't have a job to go back to, which is millions of people. They're not going to do that because it would hurt the economy and hurt the American people. So, lawmakers say they also want to see things like student loan forgiveness and Medicare tied to the infrastructure package as well. But as of right now, that is not the case. And I stated this a couple days ago as well, is that the reports that we're getting is that President Biden does not want to do the student loan forgiveness at this time, because he wants to kind of hold that idea, hold that piece of legislation in his hand and be like, you know what, if you guys want me to sign off on this student loan forgiveness, I will, but pass my infrastructure package. So it's just leverage. That's all he's using it for, is leverage at this time. But again, that's just a report until we hear it come from President Biden himself. Again, this is just hearsay. So we will see what happens there. But right now, there's a lot of talks on things going back and forth. What are we going to see? When are we going to see it? How much will it be? What's coming to the American people, and everything in between? But as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back in, fill you in all the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful Monday. Have an incredible week. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend as well. But if you could, do me a favor, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.